Seriously,
The characters
though,
are there, but that's...
if he turns out to be the Salem, if he ends up being Salem, I'm gonna be so happy, and none of y'all are gonna hear the end of it.
Oh, I know. My
I'll do a dance and put it on Instagram.
Speaking of Instagram...
Oh, are we gonna go into this now?
You brought it up.
Okay.
Speaking of Instagram...
Yeah.
Haley, I'm angry.
I'm angry, too!
I'm angry. Instagram hates horror. I've decided this. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Instagram hates horror. It hates anything to do with horror because it doesn't understand.
It hates hashtag horror.
Well, that's exactly it. Because it's the thing. I'm saying this with not only. Wow. Sorry, I just saw your long post. I've just finished The Order of the Wizard show on Netflix. They're both pretty much the same show with the exact lack of character development. And storytelling really seems to be the vibe that most of these new series are going for. They get a bunch of generically good-looking actors portray two-dimensional, vapid characters, add a suggestive but underdeveloped narrative, and unimaginative dialogue. Oh yay, the instant begins.
Tell us
begins.
Tell us
I'm
how
ready.
You really feel, Dan.
Sounds about right. Yeah, right. I haven't watched the Wizard show on Netflix, so. But I believe it. It's just that's just how it goes. It's just.
I liked the
Right.
Umbrella Academy. I thought that was done well.
Yeah, it was all right.
But
it was based off a miniseries or comic series, right?
Novel.
Graphic novel. That's a.
By Gerard Way.
But it doesn't matter because Instagram hates horror. It hates it. It does. And I have evidence, I have proof, because with the recent update, they have gotten rid. Well, they didn't get rid. I shouldn't say they gotten rid of hashtag horror. No. It's even worse than that. What was my hotkey for that?
He's so proud of me.
I got it. Remember.
Let's get some cheers for Jeff for the hotkeys. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Thank you. But if you were to type in, you were on Instagram, it's like, oh man, I want to see what the horror community is posting up there today. You know what you're gonna get? You're not gonna get the pictures that you want to see. No, you're gonna get this. What does this say? We've hidden posts for... Actually, go ahead and read it for me.
Pull it off the interwebs.
Because I can't read it from here.
It's alright.
And I know it, but I've read it, and I'm annoyed by it.
It's okay.
I got it here. I'll just bring it up.
But I was doing things. I got it right here. We've hidden posts for hashtag horror to protect our community from content that may encourage behavior that can cause harm and even lead to death. Learn more. And then you know what happens after you click that? Actually.
What does happen?
That's actually what happens when you click recent. Before that happens...
Oh.
We'll do it. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I was prepared for this and then I realized I just sent the wrong one.
Oh. Well, anyway, let's just be honest here. It doesn't matter because...
Here we go. I got the pop-up for this. Posts with words or tags you're searching for often encourage behavior that can cause harm and even lead to death. If you're going through something difficult, we'd like to help. And then, which, that's cool that they're taking a step up.
Sure. I mean, whatever. You're trying to acknowledge that there's a mental health problem, that people need help for certain things. But let's just be honest. Let's just be straight up honest here. And this is why I'm saying that Instagram hates horror. They hate it because not only do people... we like it. It's entertaining. It's a form of entertainment, but they don't like it because it is exactly what they can't control. It's people expressing themselves within...
I don't know if that's what it looks like.
There you go. And
then you click see posts anyway because I want to see them. And then you got your top ones, and then recent ones, we back to the screen back here.
Yeah.
They took away all the recent horror. So if you're hashtagging horror and you are not, having 600 something likes or more or popular, it's not there.
You don't get to be seen, and that's what they don't like. They don't like the horror because and here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not just Instagram. It's Facebook because they own Facebook.
Tumblr.
It's Tumblr. It's YouTube. It's everywhere. Everyone just hates it, and because A, they don't understand it, and B, because everyone's so afraid of advertisers. Because oh my god, I'm so angry. Because look, here's the real thing. Here's what really if you were to look up horror, if you want to look up slasher, fine. If you want to look up horror, oh my god, you might kill yourself. They do that with depression, which is fine. They do that with FML. They do that with what was the other thing? Cutting. One. Fine, great. You know what? Fine. Those are like. I hate my life. Those are trigger words. Those are things like that. Horror is not a trigger word. But you know what else is? And clearly they did not do that. Look at this. They didn't. I forgot. I have it set on there now. Dead. Dead. Do you get one of these things for the dead? Nope.
Yeah,
you don't.
And their recents are still there.
Recents are still there. You don't. Someone says, "Oh, I wish I were dead." Hashtag dead. Oh well, you're not
gonna get flagged for this one.
Probably. They're not gonna say anything. They're not gonna. That's fine. But
this gets worse.
But how about death? Death? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nothing for that. Hate.
All the reasons are still there.
All the reasons are still there. You can hate anything. You can hate your life. You can hate everything. You can hate people, things. Is that censored? Is that restricted because of mental health issues? No. And I would argue right now that hate is a more dangerous word than horror.
Oh, keep going. This gets worse.
Hurts.
Okay.
Hurt. I want to hurt myself. I want to hurt other people. I feel hurt. You know what?
Half of these posts, I will point out, are people like being very sad.
Yeah, and that's fine. But look, people can mourn, and that's fine. People can do, they can, but they also can want to wish harm onto themselves or to others. And
we're not saying all of these people.
No, not all of these people. Of course not. I'm not saying that. I'm never saying like, oh, this is rule. Like this is the rule of thumb. No, I'm saying that people can go through these things, but we also understand that this is a trigger word, and they're not censoring this one. How about this one? I hate you. That is a far more dangerous turn of phrase than horror. Mm-hmm. That's a far more dangerous turn of phrase than a genre in film and television and literature. I hate you. What genre is I hate you? That's just saying I hate something. Like the hatred is felt. But that's fine. Is that and that's okay for them? No, that's ridiculous. So and more stab.
Stab is definitely not blocked. And
stab is not blocked.
Still there. Keep going.
Strangle
and strangled are both, both there. Both there, Instagram.
Yeah.
Also,
violence. I mean, the whole, cause violence to themselves or self-harm to others, but you don't block the word violence?
Oh, you know what else?
What the hell are you thinking? What is this? This is just straight up stupidity on your part. Instagram apparently knows nothing about how the world works. Because look, here's the deal. This is awful. This is terrible, and I hate it because there are so many scholars out there, psychologists, doctors who know the field, and they don't say that. People who watch horror are just going to go out and start slicing and hang themselves.
You know what else that is not blocked?
What's that?
What was the other ones? Hold on. Gun violence isn't.
Gun violence.
I can understand part of it, but the videos that pop up are just a little. I'm not saying go look at these at all.
No,
I'm not showing them simply because of the stuff that still pops up. And shoot me.
Shoot me
is also one that nothing happens.
Yeah, no, you can post all that all you want, but my God, you post horror. Well, you might go ahead and kill some. But again, the doctors, there are doctors, there are psychologists. We have, so I was doing some research about this because I was just so angry, so annoyed, so just fed up with everyone's just small-mindedness when it comes to the genre of horror.
That one down though.
Right? I mean,
all that down real quick. While you're talking about your thing.
Oh wait, I clear that out. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Okay, so here we go. Sorry about this. Carl Jung believed that horror films tapped into a primordial archetype buried deep in our collective subconscious. Images, the shadow of the mother, and the images like the shadow and mother play an important role in the horror genre. So he's acknowledging, like these are things that we just constantly think about. Doesn't mean that, oh my God, you think about dark things at night, you get scared. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go kill yourself or hurt others. I mean, we have Jeffrey Goldstein, a professor of sociology and organizational psychology at the University of Utrecht, said people go to horror films because they want to be frightened, or they wouldn't go do it twice. You choose your entertainment because you want it to affect you. That's exactly what we want to choose to look at horror. The hashtag horror, we choose to watch horror movies, we choose to read horror novels, we choose to embrace the genre because the characters that we love, and we love to be scared. And for some reason Instagram thinks that, oh well, you must have something wrong with you. If you enjoy this, you must have something wrong with you. But it's clear, the science is evident that people enjoy it. I have another psychologist here, Kristen Lundgren, PhD, a psychologist at the University of Washington Medical Center, Roosevelt, and an associate professor at the University of Washington Psychiatry and Behavioral Science Department, and says there's no consensus among researchers whether or not horror shows are good or bad for us. And then, you have to know your limits. For some people, the sense of fear feels good. For others, it's terrifying and awful. The specific things that are for you might feel good and scary and bad, and some other people might feel bad and scary. They may not like it. It's okay. You have to know your limit. But that's not for Instagram to fucking decide. That's why I'm mad. Don't tell me what I can and can't watch, and especially when it comes to a genre. If you want to take down the word hate, if you want to take down the word death and these other words that you've said, and there actually is evidence that, people who use these words on a regular basis, that this actually does cause the problem, but horror isn't one of them. Horror is not one of them. And what do you got?
Oh, no, I'm just pointing out the fact that this is not just horror movies. Yep, knock things over. This isn't just horror movies that's being blocked out. This is people's businesses.
Right.
This isn't just us. This is people like the horror addicts. This is people like boss witches who do hashtag horror all the time. These are shops, Etsy shops.
Mm-hmm.
These are all kinds of people.
Fans.
Photographers, fans. Our friend Rawl of the Dead.
Yes.
He hashtags horror all the time because he's an artist. And all of these people are being censored because something's wrong with all of us.
Yes. And that's what Instagram says. That's what Instagram says. Because that's what Instagram applies by saying, oh, well, if you enjoy horror, if you enjoy, Friday the 13th or, The Witch or Jaws, you must be a psychopath.
Are there issues with mental health online?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Do these sites need to step up and have a good way of helping these people out?
Sure.
Yes, definitely. I know I've flagged many accounts because of situations like that where I'm like, this person needs help.
Yes.
But it's not because of hashtag horror. It's because of just they need to not have an automated system doing this crap.
Yeah.
They need to have actual people, and I'm not talking about just Instagram. I'm talking or just horror. They need to have actual people on all these social media sites, on YouTube, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Going through and stop just automatically checking people and saying, oh, no, there's something wrong with you. Your stuff's gone.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You can detect. I mean, this is Google. This is Facebook. When it comes to these companies, their amount of information gathering is unparalleled. Unparalleled. And you're telling me that all of a sudden, oh, well, horror, people who enjoy horror movies are going to kill themselves, but the people who put hate and hatred and all these other just terrible actual hashtags, they're not doing this, and there's no correlation there? Are you kidding me? People watch horror movies not because they hate them, but because they love them. People love the genre. They don't hate it. Find the people who are hating stuff. Find the people who are acting out negatively. Find the people who are just throwing their hatred out into the world. Follow those people. Don't follow the people who love things. You are mistaking, simulated violence with, like some interesting, fun characters with people and other things that you can enjoy and bond with. That kind of like, pseudo violence. Yes, let's talk about it. Horror has violence. People die in horror. There's no secret to it. That's what happens. But there's a difference between having a joy and an interest and even a thrill for something like that versus hating something. There's a huge difference there.
Well,
huge.
Horror is not just. It's not just the murder things. I mean,
no, of course not.
Look at Universal Horror. I mean, yes, people die in it, so what?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But there's Creature from the Black Lagoon. You're blocking that. You're blocking, like, the freaking Frankenstein. You're blocking child-friendly channels like us, or family-friendly for the most part. You're blocking. Well, yeah, you're blocking.
Not right now.
Homicidal Homemaker.
Yeah.
She's a cooking show.
Yeah.
And she's fabulous.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been Jeff. Whoa, Jeff used the F word. I
know, right?
Sorry. I'm angry. I'm angry about this. And you know what? When I feel like there are times when it's appropriate, and I feel like
really
this is that appropriate
the fact
time.
That how we all found out because a few people were actually searching. They didn't even tell anybody about this.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If and Dan is right here. If you add something to horror hashtag like horror fiction, horror art, etc., it lets you through. Right. So why is horror why is that?
Because we're not gonna. I mean, hashtag action is not blocked.
Right.
Hashtag romance isn't blocked.
Right.
You know what? More people
Drama.
get hurt in rom-coms than in a horror film.
It's true. Some comedies, literally slapstick comedies, where people are literally falling, banging their face. I mean, you watch one of the old not Buster Keaton, but like Laurel and Hardy or the Three
Buster
Stooges.
Keaton did some
Oh no, his stuff was great, but he didn't really ever get hurt.
No.
He just seemed to survive.
Right.
Which, big difference. But Laurel and Hardy and the Three Stooges, they were constantly bopping each other in the faces and nose, pulling their noses, hair, ears. Like this was actually violence that people, watched on a regular basis and thought was funny. And it is funny.
I will say, I've had, because I posted this on Instagram at one point, because I know there's tons of people who don't know about their main, the one thing that helps people find them is blocked, and
right.
the main comment I would get would be like, well, I'm glad Instagram's trying to help people. Yes, I'm glad they're trying to help people, but you know what you're doing? You're taking away something that people actually love. You're taking away people's ways to search people's businesses, because if I didn't personally go and try to search up horror film, whatever,
right,
I would have just assumed that, all horror is blocked.
Right.
And
well, that's the thing.
Like,
it's
they're not helping.
No, and it's also putting a stigma on the genre itself. Like, oh well, if you watch a horror movie, there must be something wrong with you. It's telling kids, especially a lot of kids use the Instagrams and the Snapchats. So I don't think Snapchat's doing this yet, but
let me just say this right now. You see his blood code? It's fake, folks.
Yeah.
Fake. It's
right.
all fake.
Everything. Anyway,
everything.
But
Truman Show.
Yes. So the kids, so now, like, if a kid or someone who's like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this, because at some point you become interested in the genre, right? Whether you like it, whether walk away from it and it's not for me, that's fine. But at the end of the day, at some point, somebody is going to be like, I'm interested in what this genre has to offer. And if they check it out on Instagram, nothing. And it's going to pop up with this, oh, you must want to hurt yourself.
Or someone.
So now what? Now you've literally taken something away from somebody who might actually legitimately enjoy it. You're taking away a life experience that is actually harmless, as opposed to, well, they can hate something. They can wish death upon something. They can show gun violence. That's fine. But my gosh, you show something about, you know, a scary moment, a dark tunnel, you know, having a safe outlet for a thrill. It's gone. It's gone.
You're taking away education to show that horror isn't just all violence. I mean, it's not all just mindless violence. Yes, we've got Eli Roth, but
yes,
you know, he does his own thing.
And also, people have said that their lives have been saved because of horror films.
Ooh, yes.
Right? I mean, I read an article recently about this, but when we were at Comic-Con...
I knew where you were going.
Yeah, we were at Comic-Con, and we were privileged enough to be in the hall for the Halloween trailer drop, right? Which, oh my gosh, talk about a moment. Talk about a moment. I mean, but during the question-answer period, a gentleman gets up, and Jamie Lee Curtis was there. She doesn't usually do a whole lot of those type of deals, but she was there for this one, and which was really exciting to see her. And the gentleman gets up to the microphone and tells his story about how he watched Halloween, and he basically, you know, loved the movie, and then at one point he had a home invasion, an actual real home invasion. And because he basically asked himself, what would Jamie Lee Curtis do in this moment? He got out of there. He saved his life. The police eventually caught the guy. I mean, it was a beautiful moment because Jamie Lee Curtis came down, hugged him. It was magical. It was a beautiful moment. But yeah, I mean, it's saved people's lives. People get through problems because of the horror films. They get through their fears. They get through all sorts of things. This can be a legitimate form of therapy for certain people because of horror films. And Instagram has decided that that's not for them.
Yep.
So anyway, what we got here? I'm sorry I haven't been on this. We just got to have a start. We got to start hashtagging everything as thriller, right? You should start the horror is healthy. I like that. Horror is healthy. I do like that. That's
Who's
a good.
saying these
That's
things?
Tom. Sorry. Dan was just saying we should hashtag everything thriller.
It's funny. I know exactly which one is Dan.
Oh, okay.
Each time.
Tom is saying horror is healthy. Hashtag we should start it. I like that idea, Tom. Tom is exactly right. We'll be adding that to our upcoming article. Yes. I like everything that's going on right now. Just keep that going. In the end, the political forces in our country are behind these outrages and are fully supportive of the actual murder and developing world. Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, what's going on behind the scenes probably more horrific than anything that we can actually come up with in our entertainment.
Real quick, Dan meet Tom. Tom meet Dan. Dan's our writer. He lives across the country. But hello, guys. There you go. You're best friends now.
Horror allows us to explore our fear of death and our own mortality. It gives us a chance to control our most primal fears and overcome that which holds us back. 100%.
I really hope Dan's
100%.
taking notes on all those, unless that was Dan.
More kids end up in the ER because of the Three Stooges than ever did because of Freddy or Jason. Right?
Or Jackass.
Or Jackass. I mean, these are people who witness these things, or even just wrestling. I mean, how many stories have you heard about, oh, we were wrestling and we got hurt, or
That's
whatever?
Most of my stories.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Kids
But we're not gonna
watching
block them,
WWE.
Nor do I want those things blocked.
No,
I
that's the
don't want
thing.
those
That's
as
the thing.
Entertainment.
I don't. Yeah, that's not for me to decide whether or not I like that as a form of entertainment. I let other people decide whether or not they like it.
More people get hurt in sports, in the NFL.
Right. I just typed in hashtag gore and immediately ended up reporting an image. It was graphic video of a man who had been killed in some kind of accident. But hey, I'm glad that Instagram is protecting me from horror fiction. Right? Isn't that what just is maddening? That's what's maddening about this whole thing.
I'm waiting to see when they're going to attack the makeup community.
I mean, you pretty much just assume that you have been. I mean, unless you're doing beauty makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna do.
Which is half of the horror pictures that show up now is like
beauty makeups.
It's more of like selfies and beauty makeups, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that
Right.
is not the only thing in horror.
Right.
I didn't see it.
I blame Jordan Peele's Us just because.
I want to see that.
I do want to see that. Sophocles would be banned on Insta. Oedipus Medea, right? Yeah, seriously. That's the thing. I can... just these backwards ideas on what people should and shouldn't see, what is healthy, what is unhealthy. I think most people can tell you what is healthy and unhealthy, and we don't need some algorithm to tell us. That's really what it comes down to. And I think at the end of the day, people are responsible enough. And if the algorithm is there to help people, again, look up words like
people.
Yeah, get rid of things like gore. Get rid of things like hate. Get rid of things like that. That's where violence is.
Get rid of things like shoot mate.
Yeah.
Like,
or
what the hell is that?
FML. Fuck my life. You know?
That one's taken care of. You can't pick up on that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least that one that one makes sense.
Which I searched all these things on my personal Instagram so I wouldn't get 52 Weeks of Horror like flagged or anything, but I'm pretty sure they think I have so many issues.
Yeah, right. You're just so done. They're
But,
like,
yeah.
mentally, you're a goner, Haley.
Well, we all knew that.
I just found the press email for Instagram. I was working on asking them for a comment to go along with this article. Nice. Yes, that'd be great.
Dan, you're the best.
You are amazing. Oh, did anybody see us? Not yet. It's not out yet. I mean, if you went to South by Southwest, you could have seen it. I clearly didn't go.
It comes out tomorrow,
But it does come out. Yeah, I believe
22nd,
so.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Maybe we can see it this weekend.
That would be great. Oh, we're going.
We're gonna go meet Tom. I get to meet Tom for the first time.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, he was telling me what he's gonna make. Sounds delicious. I'm not telling you though because it's gonna be a surprise.
Is it food? I really hope
is.
it's food.
It's pizza.
Oh, I like pizza!
But I know the kind of pizzas. It's gonna be delicious. I can't wait.
I keep forgetting I'm on camera because the thing isn't showing, so I probably look like a maniac every 2 seconds.
Radicalism, acceptable hashtag, right? 10-4. Okay. Man.
You know what makes me mad about this whole situation on top of everything?
What's that?
That I'm mad over a hashtag.
I know, right?
I don't care about hashtags. But this one I do. Like, it's even... People are still hashtagging horror just to prove a point.
Right.
Sadly, they're not getting seen, but, you know...
Yeah.
I still see everyone saying, I will still hashtag horror. So
we'll see what happens. This is a developing story. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, Instagram gets their shit straight.
Check it out on 52weeksofhorror.com because Dan's is working on an article.
Yes, yes.
We'll post it on Facebook. But
well, with all that, let's